I'm joined for this episode 21 of Theoretical Rejects by Brian, who is an old friend of mine and from the East Coast, and we're trying to record this with a phone and a couple computers.
Hi, everybody.
So try and speak up, because again, we're trying to get this on a couple of different computers, and you're coming through over the phone. But yeah, so you sent me when I missed our appointment yesterday with a red GIF. Smoked me a kaiju.
Yes.
Where did you find that?
I did actually just search around for the funny memes and put them out on my Facebook.
Yeah,
as much as I can.
Everyone I repost gets like 20 likes compared to my own post. It's very depressing, actually. I'm like, I have a better feed if I just retweeted you all day. But that would be a better use of my time.
No, there's a lot of good groups out there that will continually post them every day. So I'll just check them out and see what I can find. Some are better than others, and it's fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that you did was really good. Anyway, I don't remember, but they're consistently excellent. So yeah, well, let's talk about Red Dwarf just for a minute. Warm up here. So, what's your favorite Red Dwarf episode?
For me, it's backwards. I just really love that episode. It's very cleverly done, And Stir is one of my favorite characters, and I love when him and Kat go off, and they see the sign that says Nodnol, and they're like, "Oh, we're the smart party." And
that is a great scene, because they're like congratulating themselves. This must be Hungary or Yugoslavia. And then
we're the smart party.
Oh yeah. Woo! And then Crichton shows up, and it's like, it's London backwards. It takes like 2 seconds.
And then once he figures out everything's backwards, unrumble, it's very good. It's very well done.
Well, I like how Rimmer and adapts, and then they don't want to be rescued.
Yeah, they have their act going where they speak forward. Yeah, classic. Good stuff.
I think mine is the first one I ever saw was Gunmen of the Apocalypse, and that's definitely one of my favorites because well, come on, it's got Crichton as a gunfighter, a drunk sheriff.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean, I like pretty much the first 7 seasons, and then it started to sort of go down a little bit, I think. But
Did you try watching the new stuff? It's kind of unwatchable.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It sort of really just kind of lost all their focus, and I think they kind of run out of ideas. They're just sort of doing it just to do it. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I tried. I want to watch it. There's a new season that came out about 2 months ago, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
I want to.
Yeah, I want to like it. I just can't.
Just can't. So, how about new stuff? Anything new out there that you're watching?
I like AP Bio. It's pretty funny.
I haven't seen it, but I know what it is, and I've read about it. But.
Yeah, I mean, I like Oswald. He's funny, and I still want to see Happy. I heard that was really good, with the hitman who sees the imaginary friend and has to rescue the girl. It's on Sci-Fi.
No, I didn't even know about that.
Oh, yeah, no, it's supposed to be really good. It's about a guy, who's basically a Punisher type, goes around killing everybody, but he gets hit or something, and he actually sees some little girl's imaginary friend, who's like a little purple unicorn. Then he has to go and try to save this girl who's kidnapped or whatever, and only the imaginary friend knows where she is or whatever. It's a series. It's on Sci-Fi. It's supposed to be very funny. I haven't seen it, but I'm hearing really good things about it from people. So.
Well, I like it
What is
because I mean, like, I just where my mind goes is they should remake Harvey, like the 1930s Jimmy Stewart movie, but as an
Yes.
action movie with like machine guns. I think.
That would be pretty cool.
Have you seen Harvey?
Oh, of course. One of my favorites. I love that movie.
I love it, but think how much better it would be if Jimmy Stewart at some point just said, "Gonna put me away? Fuck you! I'm putting you away." And pulled out a Gatling gun, just took a Tommy gun, just took out the town.
Right. Or he turns out to be more like Dexter, and there's bodies in the basement, and Harvey did it. Harvey told me to do it.
What was I supposed to do? When your imaginary friend tells you to have some bodies, you gotta slice up some
gotta kill
bodies.
'em,
Yeah, that's what imaginary friends are for.
You make fun of me for my imaginary friend. Well, guess what? You get the lie treatment.
Say hello to my little imaginary friend.
Exactly.
I like that line way better than it should be.
That's a great tagline. That'd be great for the poster.
Oh, now I got a Photoshop. Oh man. I'm gonna find like a giant pink rabbit. It's 6 foot tall,
Hey,
carrying a
if
machine
you
gun.
anything else, they might as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and get the exact gun from Scarface,
Yeah.
and then just have Jimmy Stewart looking calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Say hello to my original imaginary friend.
That's very funny. Yeah. Oh man, I could totally see the poster. It'd be great.
I'm gonna make it.
Harvey.
It's gonna take like 24 hours, but I'm gonna do it over the next week or two, and then I'm gonna post it.
Nice. Awesome.
See that? We need to talk more often. I miss the strange feedback our ideas take when they hit off each other.
Yeah. Exactly, man. It's too fun. But yeah. I'm trying to think what else I've seen recently. I just finished watching The Office. I missed seasons 8 and 9, and for the longest time I just didn't watch them because I was like, well, Steve Carell left. I don't think I want to watch it. But then I did, finally. And it's okay. It doesn't have the same vibe as when Steve Carell was on it, but it was still, it was all right.
I didn't watch either the British Office or the American Office, but have you ever seen the British show Coupling?
Yes.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I like the British versions better, but The Office, I didn't. I actually like the American version better.
Well, I think there was only like 12 episodes of the British version, right?
Well, there was 2 seasons. It was like 12 episodes and 12 episodes again.
Oh, I
And
thought
then
like most like
they
British
stopped.
shows did like 6 episodes a season. That's why I figured it was 12.
Oh, yeah, maybe. It's been so long since I've seen it, honestly.
Oh, did you
I saw it when it first came out years ago, and I haven't really seen it since then.
did you see
But
Simon Pegg's first series? I think it's called Spaced.
I heard about it. I never saw it.
I found it either on Hulu or on YouTube. That is a weird fucking show.
Yeah. No, he's a weird guy, but he's a cool guy. I met him, actually.
Really?
Yeah, at an airport of all things. And I'm there with my friends, and we're like whispering to each other, like, you know who that is? You know who that is? He's like, you can come talk to me. I'm a real person. Oh, okay.
That's a good line.
Yeah. Like, I thought you were thinking my man Jake. Okay, I guess you are real. Cool. So we did. So we spent like 20 minutes just talking to him in an airport. And he's a really cool guy. Real funny.
Did he say anything that you remember besides "I'm a real person"?
Oh, we were just talking about various things. We were talking how much we enjoyed his movies, and he said thank you, and and he said, let me guess, Shaun of the Dead. And I said, well, yeah, but we kind of like all the other ones too. This is when he was promoting, End of the World, the pub crawl one with the aliens, the newer one. He was out promoting that, I guess. And I had just seen it, and I said, yeah, it was pretty good, but I still kind of like the earlier ones better. And he said, that's what everybody always says. I said, sorry. And he was talking about Star Trek, and he was excited because he was going to, write some of that stuff and the new Star Trek. I said, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I have friends who are very anti the new Star Trek. They think it's blasphemy, How dare you? Spock doesn't date Uhura. What are you talking about? How dare you? Things like that. But I don't have a problem with it. I understand they're trying to reboot it or whatever, And we were talking about that. He said that he gets the same exact feedback. He has friends who's like, I'm going to kick your ass. How dare you? You know.
I can see that. He probably has very geeky friends.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you can't touch Star Trek. And, of course, it sounds much better coming out in a British accent than when I say it. But, you know. No, it was fun. It was nice. He was a nice guy. Yeah, and we just talked about incidental stuff, like how boring the airport was and, you know, things like that. It was nothing terribly exciting conversational-wise, but it was just cool, you know?
Did you break out the Douglas Adams quote? In no language is there a phrase as beautiful as an airport?
As an airport? Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite openings of any book ever.
Did you watch the series, the Dirk Gently TV series?
I didn't, because I felt like he had a sidekick and stuff on the commercials, and I was just kind of like, okay, no, that's not the way I remember it. But
how good would it have been if they worked Dirk Gently into Thor 3?
Yeah, that would have been great.
I just recently saw Thor 3, and I was kind of like rage posting about it on Facebook. But like, I think what would have saved it is a cameo by Dirk Gently.
Oh, absolutely, that would have saved it completely. See, I didn't even see Thor 3 because it just didn't look like good to me from promos and stuff. I did like Dark World. I liked the first two. But I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to watch the third one. And then I was reading everything you were saying about it, and I said, nope, good thing I didn't watch it.
I got a lot of heat. Got a lot of people disagreeing with me and saying I hate fun.
Well, I mean, humor has its place. Don't get me wrong. I like humor. I mean, Ant-Man was a good movie. I liked that one. But, you know, for the tone of Thor, and then just to get the basic things on, like the relationships of people, and, you know what I mean, how they relate to each other.
But why? What did it add? How did that change the plot, the narrative, like to justify? Right. I mean, and I think, well, I believe that you should try and throw some education into your entertainment, because Lord knows we need it, right?
Yeah, amen.
But if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to educate, at least don't miseducate.
Right.
There are people now who are going to believe and tell other people, oh man, did you know that Hela is Thor's sister?
Right.
And that's not the mythos. Like, so what
No.
You know, you're just instead of even sharing the smallest tidbit of education where people would learn something about the Norse mythos by watching Thor, they're actually mislearning it.
Right.
I mean, because that was the justification. Hey, comic books are entertainment, but at least they're teaching the kids something. They're getting something out of it. And like, no, they're actually dumber by watching the fucking movie. They know one less fact.
Plus, then I go back and read the comic, go, no, the comic got it wrong. Do you see that?
Those idiot writers.
Loki's daughter, no, that's just completely wrong. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And they even mentioned that Fenris Wolf is her brother.
Yeah.
Complicated as that might be. And where was the Midgard serpent?
Right? And what they did was, I don't even want to start with this whole Scourge stuff, because I love Scourge. And
Scourge was great. I can't get over that. And that he was a fucking janitor. He was not, like, weak. He wasn't too smart, but he was, like, one of the strongest Asgardians. You know? And he had that cool skull tattoo before it was cool. Like, now everybody has that. He started a trend.
See, they should have done a Gatorade Bill or something. And then they could have changed his story around, and it would have been okay, because there's not really too much to his story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been fine. You want to give him a sister or something, that's fine. You know, go ahead. That's cool. Don't mess with Thor. I mean, come on. Thor is Thor.
I remember you point out to me...
Hercules popped up and said, look, Hercules is Thor's brother. No.
Yeah, no. As long as I want to mix it. But you point out to me, when we were in high school, you point out to me that, like, Thor is actually an idiot in Norse mythology, and Hercules, who was an idiot in Marvel Comics, was actually really clever and problem-solving and wise.
Right.
And I was like, that can't be. And then, like, I read, like, the 12 labors of Hercules, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, he figured this stuff out, you know.
I later learned he was actually, like a symbol for Cynic philosophers. Like, the Cynic school of thought, like, used Hercules as, like, a logo. An early avatar. So, So yeah, and when's the Hercules series of movies coming out?
Oh, I don't even want to know. I
No,
can't know.
I mean like Marvel Universe version. I don't mean like Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No, I know. I mean, I was kind of hoping that he would pop up in the Thor movie because that's the perfect place to introduce him.
But my original thought was, well, how great it would be if Dirk Gently just popped up.
Like, instead of having him fight the Hulk, the third movie, why couldn't it have been Hercules he was fighting? That would have been cool.
Yeah, they really. I mean, like, well, so yeah, it was. I haven't seen. I haven't watched enough. Have you watched Black Panther? Everyone's raving about it.
I did not. Everyone's going nuts, and it's so funny. I told my wife the other day. There was this thing on the internet with the list. It's broken this record and this record and that record and this record. I said I still don't really want to see it. He was never one of my favorite characters to start with. He was kind of like a cross between Wolverine and Captain America. Okay, he's Captain America with claws, basically. And I don't know. He never did anything for me, even in the comics. So I'm just really not all that interested in the movie just on him,
Right.
I know it's tying up everything and getting everything ready for Infinity War, which I'm sure they'll screw up just as badly as they've done everything else, but...
How is the same actor playing Cable and Thanos? Like, I mean, isn't that problematic? Like, are they going to explain, like, is Cable like Thanos' kid, like Gamora is, and that's why they look so much alike? Because I'd be in. I'm not a big fan of Cable the character, but he is a time traveler, right? If it came out that like he's actually not Cyclops and Jean Grey's kid, he's Thanos' illegitimate kid. Oh, see, that's potential. What if Thanos had a thing with Jean Grey on the down low and no one knew about it? And that's why like he's kidnapped. He wasn't kidnapped. He was smuggled out because Cyclops was going to suspect something when the baby was born purple.
See, that's why Phoenix went dark, because she had an affair with Thanos, right?
Right. That's why she like started tearing up suns. Yeah.
See, there we go.
That wasn't a mistake. It was a courtship ritual. That's how you court Thanos. You rip a sun in half. That's like
destroy the whole planet, and he goes, a lot of death over there. I gotta check that. Hey.
That's the equivalent of like a sixth grader passing a note that says check yes or no. That's what you do. You rip a sun in half.
That'd be great. And that's how they defeat him at the end, is they have to get Cable in there, because, he's the only one who can stop him.
Yeah, he's like, I can't kill my son.
Oh, no.
Ally with me. We can rule the galaxy.
No thanks. I'd rather hang around with Deadpool and shoot people. Have a nice day. Oh, man, that'd be so funny.
Oh, man. I want to make, like, X-Men parody movies now.
For real, man. There's so many, like... when I see when they do the comics, it makes me... I mean, like, the DC movies are just terrible. They're so bad. Batman vs. Superman is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Oh, my God. It was so bad.
Yeah. See, I can't really talk about it.
$23 to get into the theater to see it, I would have left. I mean, I really wanted to get up several times and just be like, no, I'm done.
You
like,
didn't, though?
I didn't watching a Justice League movie.
Oh, man. I got ripped. Like, there's a YouTube channel, like, What Culture, and they kind of go into, like, what's wrong with these things. And, like, criticize. And, like, but they also do, like, how it should have been made. Like, if you can find it, there's a What Culture video, how they should have made Suicide Squad, which is fantastic. You're like, I want to see that movie. That's the movie I wanted to see.
Yeah, well, that's another one. I mean, what a great comic that was, and how they screwed that up so bad. I'm just sitting there like, what? No. Every 5 minutes. What? No.
See, I didn't mind it till the very end. Like, there was stuff I minded, but on the whole, I was on board. And then Amanda Waller mysteriously survives that, like, crash or something that, like, seemed like it killed her. And there was no discussion of how that happened. It was kind of like they got to a certain point and like, oh look, our villains are about to escape. We've got a satisfying arc for the movie. Wait, we can't make a sequel if they escape. We need them to be in the exact same position they were when the movie started, because that's how you do a sequel.
Right.
So we'll just fucking reset, and nothing at all happened that was worthwhile in the entire movie. Like, okay, I feel good. Might as well just fucking had someone say it was all a dream, and had like Harley Quinn wake up in the shower.
Give me a break.
Be like, well, look, they're gonna be pissed, but it's gonna be a shower scene with Harley Quinn when she wakes up. So I think we can get it past. I think they'll take it.
I kept going, why is the Joker even in this movie? I mean, for all the 5 minutes he showed up, he did absolutely nothing to, anything. I was like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like that's the same. Like what I'm saying with the Thor. Like, okay, if you're gonna do something, what role does it have in the plot? How does it advance the story? Like, how is the movie better for Joker being in, other than like a few images that look cool of him sort of like being a rapper in a.
Yeah,
and he'd even rap. Well, I want to see a Joker rap music video.
Now, a Batman Joker, rap battle. There you go.
Oh, I'm in. I am so in.
Now that would be a good sequel for Batman movie, right? Get Ben Affleck out there rapping.
I don't think it's Batman. I think it's gotta be Riddler versus Joker rap battle.
Oh, there you go.
Because the Riddler would have raps that would have riddles in them that you'd have to solve. They'd be like logic puzzles in rap form.
Exactly. That'd be awesome.
I want to put that together. I don't know how, but I want to create a logic puzzle rap.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
Oh.
When you solve it at the end, all it says is yo Riddler with his women's and his bitches. That's basically what it comes out to at the end. Like,
it gives you the location of his Grammy nomination.
Yeah. Why didn't you just come out and say that? I'm the Riddler, man. Don't you know? That's what I do.
I'd watch that. I guess we're not the typical demographic.
No.
I mean, we're not alone. There's an audience there, but we're not. We're not the $1 billion overseas audience.
Oh no, we're the fringe audience, but we're big and we're growing, man. Look out. Like the new Star Wars movies, they're not as terrible as everybody says. I've been giving them a chance. I mean, yeah, you're never going to recapture, the magic in the bottle that was the original series, You're just not.
I don't know, man. Just more Ewoks.
Yeah. Like, Empire was so good because it was directed by somebody else.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
put their ideas on it. I was watching the commentary track on Empire because I'm a geek like that. I watch all the commentary tracks. And, they were talking, and Irvin Winkler, who was the director, kept going, and that was my idea, and that was my idea, and I changed this, and I did that, and I'm like, see? This is why it was a better movie.
Yeah.
And that's why Lucas, never let him do that again.
He's like, you ruined it. You ruined it. You made it better.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
And that's why Lucas still cheats when everybody says Empire's their favorite movie, because it's the one he had the least amount of input in,
Yeah. I could totally see that. That's the guy's an egomaniac.
Yeah.
Like he had full complete creative control to an unprecedented of the prequel trilogy. That's the movies he wanted to make. That's his vision.
Right. Exactly. Jar Jar was his,
Yeah. Like
that was all him.
Like, when people always like, oh man, I hate the studio creative control and I wish I could just have my artistic vision realized. That was his artistic vision. That's the dream in his heart he's been carrying around all his life.
Oh, I know. And that's when you go, oh boy. And that's why he eventually sold it to Disney. But, no, my favorite moment in the prequels is when I was watching the first one when it first came out, and I'm in the audience, and it's the pod race scene, and the Tusken Raiders are shooting down on the pods, and somebody yells out in the theater, the Tusken Raiders are the cheap white trash of the Star Wars universe. And we all died laughing. The whole theater just broke up laughing. It was so funny.
Have you seen the Highlander movie, like Highlander 3 or something? Like the one that came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yes.
Yeah, and like I guess it took characters from the Highlander TV show and put them in.
TV show and put them in, yeah.
Yeah. And there's this woman who's like immortal and like been like pissed at him for like 1,000 years or something. Anyway, I saw it with my friends, and he like asked her at some point, "Revenge? Is that what's kept you going all these years?" And my friend yelled out, "Well, that and shoes." Nothing has made me happier than that line in that terrible, terrible movie.
Oh man, that's great. When the original Pokemon movie first came out, my friends dragged me to see it because they were all like Poke nerd people, and I never got into the show myself. But you know, they loved it, and they dragged me to see it, and you know, they actually lied to me, told me it was a different movie, and we went in and the movie started, and they were laughing, thinking that this was a funny thing. But we were the only people in the theater, so I got to just yell out anything and everything. I was just missing that entire movie, yelling things at the screen. And then at the end, when, you know, U3 or whatever his name is says, oh, you know, because the kids are all going, oh my God, look, we're making them fight each other. This is the most horrible thing in the world. And oh, why are we doing this? And they're hurting each other, and it's all because of us. I said, yes, there you go, finally. And then they said, I want to make them forget that they ever learned that lesson. And I was like, what? I started like throwing popcorn at the screen and stuff. It was so funny. It was like the best time I ever had in a movie theater. So much fun. Well, and they never took me to another movie I didn't want to see after that.
You established a precedent.
I literally took the popcorn out of my friend's lap and just threw it at the screen. I was like, no! It was so funny. I was like, I hate this movie! Just screaming it out. It was so funny.
Well, you were a projectionist. Did you ever, like, when, cause like, you said, like, the only people in the theater, did you ever, like, have, like, 3 people in the theater and have them missed it, and you're kind of watching and, like, criticizing their missing it?
Well, you can't really hear anything. It's a soundproof thing unless I opened up the door and really, you know, listened to what they were saying. But, I mean, I've watched down in the theaters and seen all sorts of crazy things. You can imagine.
Do you want to share a story for the podcast? For our 5s of listeners?
Yeah, just remember when you're in a movie theater that you're not really alone and that people can see you, no matter what you're doing. Even if you think you're the only 2 people in the theater, there is somebody above who can see you. And they might not be watching, you know, like the whole time, but they're going to walk by every so often to keep an eye on the film and stuff to make sure it's running right. So they do just look down and see you. So when you're taking off all your clothes and doing things, here's a funny story. When they re-released Empire, you know, remember they re-released it like in the 90s?
Yeah.
You know, with his new scenes or whatever.
Right.
I was working, and at the time, being a projectionist, I was also the assistant manager because that's how they saved on labor. So I got a phone call from the person at the box office, and they said, hey, you know, I keep getting this prank phone call, and it's really disturbing me. And I said, okay, well, if he calls back, you know, put me on the phone with him, and I'll take care of it. Well, 5 minutes later, he's calling back again. So I pick up the phone, and that says, please don't hang up. Please, please, please don't hang up. This is not a prank call. I'm telling you, I'm being so serious. My wife and I were in the theater. We were watching Empire Strikes Back, and my wife dropped her dildo. And it's very expensive, and I don't want to have to buy another one. Could you please go look in the theater and see if it's there?
Wow.
And I said, what? He's like, no, look, I'm being very serious. This is not a joke. I'm not some kid trying to wind you up. You can hear it in my voice. I'm an adult. I really need you to go and check. I said, well, the movie's playing now, but when it ends, I'll go in there. So, you know, later on, the movie ends, and of course, by now, everyone in the theater's heard about this because this is how it works. And they all come in with me, and we're all looking for it. We found it. It had rolled to the front of the theater because, you know, the theaters are on a slant. So it had rolled to the bottom of the theater. So I called the guy back and said, well, yeah, it's here. What do you want me to do? And he's like, well, can I come pick it up? Okay, sure. So I got some plastic gloves. I put it in a popcorn tub, you know. walked up, and it was after hours by this point, so he had to come knocking on the front door. So meanwhile, everybody who was supposed to have gone home stayed because they wanted to see this guy. You know. And he comes knocking on the door, and I open the door. His face was beet red. I said, "Sir, I got to tell you something. You're a better man than I am. If my wife said she dropped her dildo in the theater, I'd say, honey, you're just going to have to buy yourself another one because I'm not going back for it. I'm sorry." And he thanked me and, took it and left. And I was like, oh, my God.
He didn't even give an explanation, like, this is her favorite one, or like, look, dude, it's $200 and I'd rather be embarrassed than fucking eat it.
Well, he was already, like, so embarrassed. I just didn't want to ask. But I was like, what is it about Vampire Strikes Back that just made her, was it Yoda? All that latex and rubber? She went, ooh, I don't know. We'll never know. But something about Empire really got her excited, and,
Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like so terrible, and she had to take the kids, and the only way she parked the kids in the front row, and she sat in the back, and just tried to forget it was on.
Or maybe she had a crush on Harrison Ford. I mean, we'll never know. We'll never know. But
that's the mystery.
Yeah, that's a true story.
That's a good one. Well, that actually brings us to a half hour, so that's a pretty good size episode for this.
Oh, okay. All right. We could do a whole episode just on stories from the movie theater, believe me. I have lots.
Okay, so anyway, are you on Twitter or anything that people can follow you?
No, I'm not on Twitter, but if you want to find me on Facebook, I'm Brian Sutow, because I have a cousin whose name is Brian Sutow, which we won't get into that story. My mom still doesn't forget my uncle for that one. So just look for Brian Sutow and ask to friend me up. I'll hit you up, no problem. I always like friends. Friends are good.
And you can always find me at dougxcomedy.com and come see our show tonight at Flappers in Burbank at 9:30. All right, we're out.